Hey, what's going on, Patriot family? I'm so excited to be with you. We love you and miss you, but so excited that we can still give you this wonderful service and start your day off right with the StartRight PE training for the morning. So, to start off today, we're going to be doing some foam rolling. If you don't have a foam roller, that's okay. We also have other sources we could use, like a lacrosse ball, or if you have a tennis ball at home, that works great as well. So we're gonna go ahead and start off by foam rolling, hopping down on the floor, and we're gonna foam roll our calves. How we do that is we're just going to put one foot on the ground, one foot on the foam roller, and we're just gonna roll back and forth and look for any knots, anything that might give us any grief, tension. We wanna address that. You want to also get adventurous when you start foam rolling. So rotate your foot to the outside, rotate your foot to the inside. They all target different muscles. So the different directions that you go really does make a difference because it targets something different every time. All right, we'll go ahead and switch sides to the other side. Oh, I need to make sure I start my timer. Okay. All right, so I can make sure I'm being honest with my time, make sure we're right on time for our training today. Again, moving to the outside. If you'd like to progress it, you just cross one leg over the other. And that puts a little bit more pressure from one side to the other. All right, we'll go ahead and keep cruising. The next one we're gonna move to is our IT bands. We're gonna get the IT band by just resting on our hip on the foam roller on the side, and then just crossing one leg over the other. And we're just gonna roll from the side of our hip down to the side of our knee. So while you guys are foam rolling, I want to share a little thought, a little insight with you about fitness and health, but also as it pertains to God's plan. So those of you who have worked with me probably heard me talk about proprioception a lot, but the reason why I do is because it has a lot of spiritual implications as well. We'll go ahead and switch sides. So we know that proprioception, improving your proprioception improves coordination, it helps you to perform better as an athlete, it helps reduce the chance of injury in elderly, but there's also some really other benefits that are more spiritual. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but proprioception is the ability to command your body in space, or in other words, the ability to exercise your agency and command and connect with your body to tell it what you want it to do. But if we don't have good proprioception, that means our agency is limited. And we oftentimes think of other limiting agency type things like, addictions and other things like that take away our agency, but we don't ever consider lack of movement or lack of coordination with our movement to be one of those tools that the adversary can use against us. But I'd invite you guys to, during this time, to take advantage and start of this time that we have to start moving more and exercising more. And I promise you, as you do that, that coordination and proprioception, that command of your body will start to improve. And I promise you, and I've felt this in my own life, that you will be more free and you will actually draw closer to our Savior as you exercise regularly and start moving your body more. All right, we'll go ahead and keep cruising. So the next one we're gonna move into is your hip flexors. So to get the hip flexor is gonna be a chunk of muscle that's just right here off center to your hip. And so we're actually gonna start on this side, but we're gonna start by just as if we were rolling out the IT band, but then from here, we're just gonna roll over and then hit about a 45-degree angle into the floor, and that's gonna get that hip flexor muscle. This might be tight for a lot of you guys. I'm wanting to target a lot of muscles that oftentimes get tight when you sit for long periods of time. I know it's going to be really easy during this time to want to sit in front of a computer or in front of a screen. I'm going to invite you to not do that. Take the time to roll out these muscles, especially the ones we're targeting right now, because these are your anti-sitting muscles. These are the ones that are going to help you as you roll them out, will help you to fight the negative side effects that come from sitting for long periods of time. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one, which is our lats. So the lats, your latissimus dorsi, which is this muscle right underneath the armpit. So we're gonna just lay on our side, we're gonna roll to the back of the shoulder, and then we're gonna open up the arm, and we're gonna roll back and forth down through the armpit and down by your side. This one also might get really tight for some of you guys, and that's okay. It's really important to get these knots out before we start moving and start exercising for the day. So take the time, even though it might be tight, embrace it. Try to breathe through it. Slow down your heart rate, slow down your breath. All right, go ahead and switch sides. All right, good job, guys. We're gonna now move on to your glutes. So we're gonna be able to target that by just simply sitting on the foam roller, but you'll notice as I lean back onto my back hands, it's more my tailbone that's resting on the foam roller. So, resting on my tailbone, I'm gonna cross one leg over the other, like so, and since my left leg is now crossed over, I'm gonna roll to my left glute. So I'm gonna roll this direction. Again, I'm gonna roll all the way over into that bony part of my hip there. Just looking for any knots, any tension. See if there's any problem areas that you need to focus on and getting those knots and stress out of your body. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. I'll turn maybe sideways here as I keep rolling. That way you guys can see a few different angles. And again, you can use a lacrosse ball just as well. Just put that right underneath your hip, right where you're rolling. And you can still do all these same foam rolling exercises with a ball. The harder the ball, the more intense the foam roll experience will be. So just keep that in mind as you get into like a baseball or softball. Those get pretty intense if you foam roll on those. All right, let's keep cruising. Next we're gonna get into is your back. So I'm just gonna sit in front of the foam roller. I'm just gonna lean back onto it. Give yourself a nice tight hug here. Lift the hips up off the ground. We're just gonna roll back and forth. We're primarily rolling across your T-spine or your thoracic spine, which is gonna be basically from the base of your rib cage all the way down to the base of your neck. Not quite down onto the neck and not quite down onto the lower lumbar spine, but just really along the mid back is going to be the prime spot that we're looking to roll out here. Okay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move into some stretching. Start our day off right. So we're going to do the 90-90 stretch first. So what I'm looking for here in the 90-90 stretch is I'm creating a 90-degree angle with the front ankle, a 90-degree angle with the knee, 90-degree angle with the hips, 90-degree angle with my back knee, and then 90-degree angle with my back ankle, okay? Now the goal here is to get both of my hips, both my glutes flush to the floor. Now, I'm not expecting you guys to be perfect on day one, but I do want you guys to give this just your best effort, right? Just showing up and being here and doing this is making you better every single day. So I commend you guys for showing up and watching this video and trying to get better every day. But yeah, and here we're gonna be able to get a nice deep stretch into my hip flexor. My hip socket is gonna feel that nice deep stretch. But also on this side, I'm gonna get a nice stretch through my glute and also my IT band as well. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. Hands up in the air. Again, this helps you improve your proprioception, so I'm all about that. Okay. All right, so again, trying to keep upright posture by engaging and tightening your core. And then you're gonna feel a deep stretch into the hip here, and then also the glute and IT band here. The goal is try to get everything flush to the ground. So even this front knee, if you feel like it wants to pop up, just try to actively use the muscles in your legs to create it to be flush to the floor there. All right. Nice job, guys. We'll keep cruising. Next we're gonna move into is what we call the Spider-Man stretch. So what we're gonna do here is gonna be in a push-up position. I'm gonna bring one leg up to my side. Okay, and then just get a nice deep stretch. You're gonna see I'm gonna stretch out my glute, my hamstring here, also my back calf, and my hip flexor on my straight leg. Should also get a nice deep stretch. I can also progress this by wrapping my hand around and lowering myself to get lower and deeper into that stretch. Okay? Nice job, guys. We'll go ahead and switch. Again, I'm going to engage my glute of the leg that's back here, and that'll help kind of push my hip forward, which you get a nice deep stretch into the hip flexor there. All right. Okay, we'll keep moving on. Next one we're gonna move into is a half kneeling hip flexor and quad stretch. So how we're gonna get this stretch in is by just bringing one knee up into a kneeling position, and then I'm gonna flex my back toe, so I'm up on the back toe, and I'm gonna actively squeeze the glute of the knee that's down. So if I were to turn sideways here, you can see I don't want my posture to be leaning over. I'm gonna actively squeeze this glute to push my hip forward to make sure that my posture is completely upright. Okay, from here I'm going to feel a nice deep stretch in that hip flexor and quad. I can even take it a step further by straightening out the arm of the leg that's down and then just do a nice gentle reach across my body. And that's going to feel a little bit of a stretch in my psoas up into almost like my core kind of an area, lower abdomen. I'll feel that stretch. All right, we'll go ahead and switch sides. Again, engage the glute to push and shift that pelvis forward. And then same arm of the knee that's down, just do a nice gentle reach across. All right. How we feeling? We feeling loose? We feeling ready? Let's go ahead and dive into our dynamic warm-up next. So, what we've got here for our dynamic warm-up is we're gonna go through marching first, and then once you guys have mastered marching, I'll show you a few progressions that you can do as well. Those of you who have taken my class know these, and you'll be just a step ahead, and you'll be ready to jump right into the double skips, which you guys are, I'm sure, masters of. So we'll start by marching. What I'm looking for when I march is I'm going to drive one knee up so it's parallel to the ground, actively flexing my toe up towards my shin. I'm going to be in full hip extension, so I want to squeeze the glute of the leg that's down and push forward. So I'll switch this way so you can see. Oh, about to lose my balance. Drive my hip forward, squeeze the glutes so I'm completely upright in my posture. Now I'm going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and start marching. Good, we're going to start to warm up that heart rate, get it a little more elevated to start off your day right. Okay, if you get the hang of this, the next progression is then to do just a slight push off the ground, be a little more explosive, and then you can push off the ground each time. Nice, good job, guys. And then you can take it to the next level, which is what we call a double skip. This follows the same rhythm as jump roping. Remember, opposite arm, opposite leg. We don't want to prepare for the zombie apocalypse. I joke with all my students about that. Okay, now we're going to start moving a little bit. We're going to start moving to the side. Here we go. Good, and coming back. Good, if you need, you can always march. So again, marching would just look like this. Go ahead and keep double skipping if you can, but march if you need, okay? Great job, guys. We're almost there. Now we can start crossing over. And back to the middle. Great job, okay. Next we've got Frankenstein walks. Good job. Next up, we've got what we call quad march. You're just gonna grab the back of the ankle. See, I'll turn this way so you can see me. Again, put that hip into extension by squeezing the glute, and then you're gonna hinge the hip back and stretch. Good job. Switching legs. Grab the back of the ankle, flex the toe down, hinge the hip back, and stretch. Good. If you're struggling to balance on these, you can just simply stand in place and reach high if you'd like. That's also a variation you can do. Great job, guys. We'll keep moving on. The next one we have is the glute march. So you're gonna bring your knee up like you're marching. You grab the outside of the ankle, or outside of the knee, top of the ankle, and just pull that knee up towards your chest. Get a nice deep stretch into the glute. You'll notice again, if I were to turn to my side here, that the leg that's down is gonna go into full extension. Extend that hip, squeeze the glute, push the hip forward as you get good posture. A nice deep stretch. Good, and we'll switch sides. Outside of the knee, top of the ankle, nice deep stretch into that glute. All right, we'll get one more with the left. Nice job, guys. Next up, we've got inchworm. So to do inchworm, we're gonna go down, touch our toes, and walk your hands out. If you're dealing with any shoulder pain or problems, go ahead and just move to a push-up position, and go ahead and do a push-up, and then you're gonna inch your toes up to your hands. Take a step back, and we'll do it again. If you'd like, and if you have the shoulder mobility and strength, you wanna push yourself to go as far out as you possibly can. Go all the way down, see if you can get your nose to touch. And then just inch your toes up to your hands. Good job, take a step back, and we'll do it again. Down, touch your toes, walk your hands out, reaching as far as you can, or you can do a push-up if your shoulders hurt, if you try to bring those hands over your head, no biggie. Let's do one more. I'll do a modification down to the push-up. All right, great job, guys. I know this is tough, but you're doing a great job. Next one we're gonna do to finish off our dynamic warm-up is an exercise called sneaky bear crawls. What you're gonna do, come down into a kneeling position, and we're gonna elevate your knees so they're just barely off the ground here, okay? You wanna make sure your back is flat. Don't let it round or curve, just get it nice and straight. And then when I bring my right knee towards my right wrist, I'm gonna extend my left hand forward at the exact same time, okay? And then do the same thing coming back, okay? And back. Great job. Now we can practice going sideways as well. Let's go back to our crawling position. I'm gonna cross my left hand over my right while extending my right leg at the same time. Let's go ahead and elevate those knees and go. And we'll go ahead and head back. Let's go down and back one more time. All right, great job today, guys. We'll go ahead and call it good right there. Give you a few minutes to transition as you're getting ready to go to your classes. But I hope you know how much we love you, and we're so excited for you guys to start this journey, and we're so grateful that you're joining us this morning in our PE StartRight Fitness.